What's up, motherfuckers? I'm Ice, and I'm gonna go through the alternate list of date ideas for you. But anyway, I'm gonna cut to a chase, skip the bullshit. You know the deal with me. I'm not gonna mess you around. I'm gonna give you the raw information, no wishy-washy bullshit. So let's go. I'm gonna drop two resources for you in the description. Number one, the ultimate list of date ideas. It's a blog post I made on Game Global. Um, Really popular post that it became. Number two, The Message Game. It's a book by myself, released in January 2020. Check it out. It's great. I wrote it, so I would know. And this part specifically comes under the chapter Ice Game towards the end of the book. But I'm going to give you guys this video anyway to show you the kinds of stuff that I am capable of. And also because this is something that's pretty important, something very overlooked. It's more to do with kind of changing your fundamentals so that you provide yourself with a setup that is optimized. So, a week ago, there was a guy in the Facebook group who said something about what kind of dates he was going on. If you are going on dates to bars and restaurants, that's really boring. So this guy was going on that kind of date, where you sit down, you could sit next to her or opposite. Normally it would be opposite, if you don't have that strategy. But it's very static. If you are at a bar or a restaurant, it's very inactive, because you just order food, you eat something, you drink something, you speak to each other, you exchange your life stories. In general, maybe it can be fun, maybe it's your thing, nothing wrong with that, but I feel like you can do a lot better when you reach out to more crazy fucking things. So here under the Ice Game chapter towards the end of the book, page 210 on the paperback, might be different on the ebook, I have an entire list of date ideas. So there are 4 categories: home, places to eat / drink, adventure, and standard stuff as well. So I'll throw you a few examples. Standard: bowling, movie theater, museum, park, picnic, shopping, going for a wander around, stuff like that. Places to eat and drink, pretty obvious stuff like Chinese food, Mexican food, Japanese food, hot chocolate, buffets, desserts, tacos, you get it. Home, this is pretty simple, the stuff you can do at your own house, but it also includes stuff that is a bit more fun. So, for example, you can have cooking, which is a bit more casual, more necessary, but there are also things like massaging, or movies, Netflix, pancakes, pillow fights, pillow fort, pre-drinks. If you're going to a club, I used to do this. If I had a date coming over, I would, for a club date, I would have pre-drinks at my place and then go to the club and then come back. There are also things like waffles, or if you got a trampoline. I don't, but you can use that as well. Anything fun, use it to your advantage. So that's what this is all about. So let's take 2 different things. As I was saying, this guy in the comments made a post saying his date didn't go so well. What could I do better? And I'm like, you could take her on better dates. So here's what I said, word for word. Easy. Let's take a fairground as an example. You're moving around, probably gonna get ice cream, play a few games, or go on some rides. Be a kid. You can also take plenty of photos, memories, and it's extremely fluid. It's not just sitting down and using your vocal cords and your teeth to munch things. It's active, it's fluid, it's energetic. Anyway, I'll continue. The fluidity makes it easy to take it further and take it elsewhere. So, with that in mind, I'm comparing the static environment to a more interactive one. So a static environment is one like a bar. It's, for me, I don't personally go to bars. I prefer the more adventurous things. For example, last year I went on a date, first date, and it was to go to Scotland. And I never been to Scotland before. We matched on Tinder, and I said, what are three crazy things you would love to do for a first date? She named a few things. One of those was travel. You'll be surprised how many people say that, especially if you're in Europe. Fortunately, I am, for now. So, we decided to, I was living in London at the time, so was she, as she is from London. We decided to go to Scotland for a first date, and our date was 5 days long. First date. We never met before. We did meet once before the date happened, which was 1 week before, but that was purely to, first of all, understand who she is, and to get the bookings done. So she paid for the coaches, the transportation. I paid for the Airbnb a few seconds after I verified her purchase, for safety, of course. So that was for the purpose of comfort, really, and that the thing is happening. So we did that. We just met briefly for an hour to get the booking done. That's it. 1 week later, we do it. 5 days, go to Manchester on the way, and then a few days in Scotland. Absolutely amazing. Now imagine, if that's a first date, that's fucking amazing. But of course, you cannot do that. You cannot travel to another country for every single girl you meet. But that's just an example I did. So take this as a kind of way to rebuild your foundations. Because if you keep sticking to the same routine, and like people went in the 50s on first dates to restaurants, so it's a very casual society thing that society does. But I feel that this community could do better. We haven't moved on from, we're doing the same dates as everyone else. How about we do something more fun? And the logic here is that if it's more fun and more interactive, then it's more memorable. And that way, it's more likely to get you what you're looking for. So, in a nutshell, imagine two different girls that you match with on Tinder or meet however way. This is a way of being smart. So, if you take one to a bar, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to drink, you're going to talk to each other, that's it. And of course, you want to move her somewhere else, to your place, to her place, whatever you want. Bounce her between venues, maybe, but in the end, that place you're starting in is a static environment. And maybe your conversations can be great and everything, but to make things easier for yourself, it's better to have dates that are on the other side. You can take this woman out for, let's say, the fairground, or travel to Scotland. Another thing I did is, in fact, I'll just tell you, I have had, depends how you define it, but 7 girlfriends at least. So first one, our first date was bowling. Pretty standard stuff, okay? Second girlfriend, who was it? We met on like a summer camp kind of thing. So I guess that would have been first date in itself, because it was 2 weeks long and stuff. So whatever, but that was memorable. third girlfriend, met her at the same time, same place. They were actually best friends. So I'll leave that out as well. Fourth girlfriend, well, I didn't actually take her anywhere. I just took her straight to my house. Turned out to be a terrible relationship, so that didn't work out. Fifth girlfriend, way better. This was a much more different and more positive person. Our date was, we met at work, so there's the context there. And we arranged the date to come to my place. So I met her in central London somewhere, got on the London Underground to my place, just 5 minutes away. And then it was raining, go for the rain, and got to my place. And originally the pretense was to, I think, make mojitos, make drinks, basically. I had my own bar set up in my own room. Crazy story. So anyway, that was fun. I think we cooked some food. We made our own drinks. We played Truth or Dare. It's more interactive. And look, you don't have to be like 25 to do this. She was 31 or something. So it doesn't really matter how old you are or how old she is. God, sorry for my voice. My voice is so shit today. But it's about being a person and having fun. So anyway, girlfriend number 6. First date was pre-drinks, as I explained before. Matched on Tinder. I super liked her, just to explain that my friend is in the background of one of her photos. And then we set up a date. She came to my place. I met her nearby the house, walked her to the house. Pre-drinks, have some discussion, blah blah blah, and then took her to the club. I had VIP there. I'm gonna make videos about Social Circle game. Don't worry. Stop bugging me. I'm kidding. Let me know. But it was fun. We get to go in the green room on the stage in front of 1,200 people in one of the biggest venues in London. Crazy experience. This is something not everyone can say they are able to do or have done, but I was fortunate enough to be in that kind of position. For a first date, that's a pretty good experience. So one of my friends in the club was also managing the lights for the stage, and he waved me over to come to the little box thing. This club is called Coco. It's in Camden in London. Very famous place. Lots of famous people go there. I even met T-Pain backstage one time. Was it him? Yeah, T-Pain. And anyway, go in this light box thing. They got the flashing lights. Got all these buttons and stuff. I don't know. All these machiney things. And yeah, that's pretty cool. No one gets to go in there but me and the cool guys. So when that kind of thing happened, social proof. What else happened? We took photos along the way. So not only did I take were photos taken not just by myself, but by the club photographers as well. Before that, during pre-drinks, I took photos. Like, oh look, here she is with her drink. Pretty good photo. Photos at the club, videos at the club. My next girlfriend, who I'm still with, and she's not my girlfriend anymore, she's now my wife. So there you go, got room for more. She was traveling around Europe, actually. She's not from Europe, she's from South America. So, she was traveling around London, and she happened to be in London at the time. And I said, I can show you around a few things. And then we met in Camden, if you know London pretty well. We went for a street food pizza, as you do. And went around some stores, just have fun. And then went to a park. We actually went on a boat ride. You know, one of those swan boat things where you paddle yourself. And then we went straight to my place, cook some food, blah blah blah, and the rest is the rest. And that was a year ago, and we're still together. So also my relationship history, each one has kind of improved in its own way over time, but also the first date is a good foundation for this. So that's my advice. So that's it. Do dates in an optimal way, and you can get more done. Time and time again, I see people taking girls out to boring ass places like bars and mediocre restaurants just to sit there, drink, eat, and talk. And then they come to me asking why the date didn't go as planned or wonder why it didn't go anywhere. Well, maybe it wasn't the ultimate date. And if it's not the ultimate date, it's not the optimal date. And therefore, you probably wouldn't have the kind of success you were aiming for. Why are you expecting to date successfully if you're not setting it up in a way that works in your favor? If you want to convey who you are as a person and at the same time live under fun circumstances, then stop having conversations and start having active situations and activities. So that's what it's all about. Do more fun things. Stop going for dates at McDonald's or Five Guys or a random restaurant. Like, yeah, food is great, but there are other things that are really catchy in the mind, that really set the tone for what kind of person you are and the experience you are leading. So leadership. So if you want to know more kind of strategies like this, you should check out this wonderful book that I made just for you. It is about $15 if you're American, or if you are in England, I believe there is an offer on right now on Google Play Books where you can get this for £4 or something. So check that out. I'm gonna leave the link in the description as well. I got a list of all the places you can get it. For the cost of a pizza, this is almost 300 pages of knowledge, strategies, and screenshots, not just from Tinder, but from things like Instagram, or Snapchat, Facebook, or WhatsApp, if SMS. A lot of things. It's not just Tinder and dating apps. It's much more than that. It's about your foundations, everything you can possibly do on the screen in order to set up a date, and also what to do on the date. So what could you possibly lose? So if you are struggling on things like Tinder, and if you want to get more girls to go out on dates with you, this is the kind of thing you should check out. Plenty of knowledge in there. In fact, let me just show you a few quickies. I have some chapters that are pretty special. I got a glossary, situation index. So this is a list of every single page where a certain situation happens. So let's say if she is ignoring you or if she isn't responsive, I got a list of every page where that happens. Page 163, page 160, page 161, page 162, page 166, page 167, page 191. Lots of different pages. If she is giving you a shit test, if she says she is busy, if she only wants to meet for a coffee or for drinks, whereas you could take her out on something more adventurous or fun. What if your logistics are bad? Here are the pages. Phone calls. Here are the pages. What if she wants more out of the relationship? Here are the pages. What if she wants to use me to get something? Here are the pages. What if she gave me the wrong number or wrong contact details? Here are the pages. What if she is only visiting my city or town? Here are the pages. If that's not enough, I have an FAQ, frequently asked questions. So let's find a good one. How long should I wait to reply to her? Do I need to talk to her every day? In this chapter, at the very end, I give you the short answers. These are already laid out in a lot of detail throughout the book, but this just gives you like the quick response if you want to check back or read the book again. Instead of going through the whole thing, you can just refer to this little section where I just give a mini version, a little summary of how you should deal with things. How do I create attraction? So for example, the answer I have for that, attraction is in your behavior and how your profiles are set up. You already created it, just improve your behaviors and profiles. She will be attracted to the behaviors laid out in this book about being non-needy, abundant, honest, and simple. Your decisiveness, good communication, and bullshit skipping should also demonstrate attractiveness automatically for you. It's not about creating attraction, it's about already having it. What will happen if your techniques become outdated? Yes, I deal with this here. Should I swipe right on Tinder for all girls that I find? I got the answer here. What if I want to Facebook close, but she doesn't have Facebook?